Hi, my name is Trey Martin, and I'm here for Dr. Gannon's research methods class. I'm coming to talk to you about my project. Just a side note, sorry for my messy room, and if you can't understand me, I'm going to put the transcript of this at the bottom of the link. So my research question is, what effect, if any, does playing a collegiate sport during the traditional season have on a student's grades while attending Piedmont College? To give you some background information, I'm actually the graduate assistant tennis coach at Piedmont College, and also received my undergraduate degree and played tennis and ran cross country for 4 years. And it got me thinking as to what effect playing sports had on your grades. So my participants are all Piedmont athletes from 2013 to 2017 that competed in college sports for at least a full season with at least 12 hours each semester. No individual names will be shared. The athletes will be divided up into their individual sports teams, and then the data will be released from that. What I learned from the lit review: no research study that I found in all my research discovered consisted of just quantitative data such as mine. The questions I asked, I had four major questions. What guidelines are in effect for collegiate sports in regards to athletes in colleges? And this is what I found. The NCAA governs colleges, and one of the NCAA's goals is to make sure the standard of student athletes are monitored and maintained by college presidents, administrators, athletic departments, and athletes. Programs are put in place to help athletes balance their lives, athletic lives, and students' responsibilities. The NCAA places limits on the number of hours an athlete can spend on athletic activities. And this is all over all Divisions 1, Division 2, and Division 3. And a side note that I should also mention that also while doing this, I also found that most of the articles I found were about Division 1s. Most people did not take the time to do Division 2 and Division 3 studies. Question number 2. Do students struggle in academics when they play sports? If so, why? And studies have completed in the air, but no studies are conclusive that students struggle in academics because they play sports. There are many factors taken into consideration when looking at such as this as how much time does sports require, what type of student is playing the sport, and how does the social aspect play into the grades. Question number 3 was, what happens if student athletes are not academically successful? If students aren't successful in college, they either stop playing their sport or they change their academic plan or their plan of study. To be an NCAA athlete, you must maintain a 2.0 GPA. At Piedmont, they like you to maintain a 3.0. In Audubon's Department of Education report in 1997, it suggested that athletes earn fewer bachelor degrees than students in general. They take longer to do so, their grades are lower, and their curriculum are less demanding. So I thought that particular quote was interesting because it kind of went along with what I'm saying, but it was really outdated. It was over almost 20 years old, as well as it was kind of broad in why and what schools they studied. And the final question is, what can colleges do to support their athletes? Athletic staff meets with the teachers and students to figure out how to best meet students' academic needs. Athletic departments have programs that support their academic needs. Freshman athletes and athletes with subpar grades are given extra attention. I should note that most of this is like on the Division 1 level. My experience is on the Division 3 level. We do not have the academic coach that meets with every specific teacher. But that does happen on occasions if the student is struggling or they're freshmen. The method I use, the main method will be collection of quantitative data, which I said earlier is a new kind of for this field. It also will be collected by the Piedmont Athletic Department. The data will be collected for each semester from each team. The potential outliers will be moved if the data is analyzed, such as a student who is attending in the fall but not the spring. Since I'm looking at the traditional season, I'm breaking it down into which sport does the season fall in, fall or spring. If they have athletic competitions in both, such as golf or basketball, it's whichever they have the most athletic contest in. And that will be decide which sport they are in, because I'm trying to show a non-traditional season and a traditional season. Hopefully students will show if students struggle more in season when they have academic competitions, or if it's about the same, or if one side or the other. Anticipated results. The anticipated results of this study are defined that during the season in which the athlete completes, the student's grade point average will have a slight decrease. Sports such as basketball and golf, whose sports season is spread out among both seasons, may not show the same drop. I'm thinking that athletes are going to be missing classes, and they're maybe not devoting as much time to their schoolwork, so there's going to be a slight drop-off when they're in season. This drop can be explained by the fact that a student athlete dedicates athlete's time and dedication may be more focused on athletics and schoolwork. Also, the fact that during the main competition time, student athletes may be forced to miss class due to athletic competition, which may not be the case during the non-traditional season. As a tennis coach, I know from personal experience, our students only miss 1 day in the fall, whereas in the spring they can miss anywhere up to 5 to 6 days. In the future, this experiment is done so that it can easily be replicated with any school that it reports its grades to the NCAA. All Division I, Division II, and Division III schools, or if you're sanctioned by the NCAA, has to report the grades per semester for each student. This is so when they come in and check to make sure that you're really preparing the student well. So I think this will be something that will be easily translated and it can be passed on to any school. And it's my hope that maybe either one day I could do this study or the hope that someone could do this study because I think it would be very interesting to find out the results as a whole and from different universities and colleges as well. And also I'm hoping that the data would allow the school to be able to use it to help these students more and help as a coach to help my players become better students in the classroom and then as a result be able to have success on the court. All right, thank you.